What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jake from Citizen JV, and today I want to talk about Starfield coming to PlayStation. And I know a lot of people are not very happy about that, and I understand that most of the tentpole titles that have come from Xbox that are coming to PlayStation, other than Halo or Starfield, but all I can say is this, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is a really good way for, PlayStation players to really get a hold of these types of games that have not played them at all in their lifetime of gaming. But for example, for me though, I have played similar games to that of Starfield. I have played similar games to that of Halo. But, I grew up on the original Halo back in the day as well on the original Xbox. So what I'm saying is that yes, I am an Xbox gamer to a certain extent. I am a PlayStation gamer to an extent. So what I'm saying here, though, too, I treat equilibrium of respect when it comes to console gaming or PC gaming. I've done it all in the past. I still do it once in a while as well. So what I'm trying to say is that, I have the equal respect of gamers. No matter where you're at, whether at Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, I really think that we're all in a win-win type of situation. I know people are going to disregard my comments or what I'm talking about, and that's fine. I am okay with that 100%. And the reason why I say that is because, most of the time I believe that we as gamers specifically, we don't know what we want anymore. And what I mean by that, it doesn't matter which game is going to what platform, whether if it's PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. It all boils down to, like I said again, we don't know what we want anymore. And I think that's why we have games nowadays not just being Xbox exclusives, but being no longer exclusive and then coming to multi-platform platforms, much like PlayStation 5 or PS5 Pro. Now, Starfield coming to PlayStation. While it is greater to a certain extent that Starfield coming to PlayStation 5 or PS5 Pro is that, a lot of people still have this regard of, looking back at the reviews of the game, looking back at the reviews of the DLC, and pinpointing those reviews and realizing that, well, what if this game does not deserve like a 2.0 type of thing, much like Cyberpunk 2077. And so I don't think that's going to be the case. But to me personally, I'm, like I said again, I'm very excited for this game for a lot of reasons. Like I explicitly basically put out there the two reasons why I think that I'm excited for this game. And not only that, it's because, now thirdly, I would say, I'm excited for this game because it's Bethesda. Okay, it's like I said, I love Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. I've been playing a lot of that lately. I have played a lot of Skyrim, obviously, back in the day. And then I played lack thereof, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout New 3. So again, I think with all that those games covered for so many years ago, and then coming back with Oblivion Remastered being at high of its peak, so many players out there love that game. Whether if you're like an OG veteran of the game or a newcomer, I would say definitely highly recommend Oblivion Remastered because, it's a brand new age of gaming in a way to where people have not played it at all before, like me. And it's a good way to really play a game to that significance when it comes to a remastered game from its original counterpart from 360 or PC. Now, Starfield, what I really think about this game generally, in my own personal opinion, is that, yes, it is a Bethesda game. Excuse me. And so what I'm saying is that I also believe that this game does have truly potential on PlayStation. I know, other than with the reviews and everything that this game has initially covered through so many years ago when this game came out initially, like I said, a lot of people didn't like it. I understand why a lot of people didn't like this game because there were so many problems. The loading times were eccentric, very, very long. Probably not really long, but long enough to get really, really bored. And so I really think that bringing it to PlayStation, not just being a Bethesda game as it is, But bringing Starfield to the PlayStation 5 and PS5 Pro after 2 years of times exclusive, I would say that I think it's going to be really cool playing it with a PS5 DualSense controller, with the haptic feedback controls and the vibration techniques that it has. I think it's going to be really freaking cool. I would like to effectively say that even though a lot of people might not want to play this game on PlayStation when they already have played it on PC or on Xbox, but I would say that if you're a PlayStation gamer more so than you are on PC or Xbox, I think this would be a really good recommendation to play this game on PlayStation or on the Pro, because I know I haven't played this game yet. I haven't. But I will eventually make more videos on this game when this game initially comes out on PlayStation, because I think the majority of people that are on PlayStation and have not been played games on Xbox or on PC at all, I really think that this game is going to have a really good, big potential on this system. There's no question about it, because I think the majority of the players on PlayStation have a higher player base when it comes to Bethesda titles other than Xbox and PC. And to my understanding, that it's been kind of proven, or as a fact, that a lot of gamers out there that have played Bethesda games, much like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, or even Skyrim, or even the Oblivion Remastered, those games are very highly proficiently played on PlayStation other than Xbox or PC. But again, going back to Starfield here, I really think, for the most part, this game does have a really good amount of potential to be great on this system. While I do believe that the reviews on this game for PlayStation could be very extensive, mid-range, much like, its own original reviews on Xbox or on PC, but I don't know about that, ladies and gentlemen, because I really think that if you're going to have a higher player base on a console, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, preferably PlayStation, I think a lot of people are really going to get this game on PlayStation. I really, really do. And that's only my own personal opinion, or not preference, but just opinion, of course, because I'm not trying to speak for anybody else out there. I'm just trying to understand that while this game is coming to PlayStation, and while this game might be boring to some, but like I said again, it's a Bethesda game. And I think that's where, when it comes to a Bethesda game, they do have their some kind of uniqueness. They do have some of their own gameplay style and eccentric, the detail and what the weapons are able to produce in order of damage quality. I think that's really cool. And to my understanding, that this game has several patches for the past 2 years. As it goes without saying, I would say with those several patches, or even more than several patches for this game after the first 2 years of this game being released on PC and Xbox, I really think that this game does going to have really big potential on a PlayStation system. And being able just to go into a world to explore, get good weaponry, get good gear, but all I can say is this, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to have a blast with this. It's only a matter of my perspective and or opinion on this as well. Because coming again to where I think where Starfield is concerned is that, yes, it's going to have some similarities to that of No Man's Sky, because you are going to be able to get stuff through mining and everything else. But I really think when it comes to, not just the combat mechanics or the gear mechanics or stats and abilities, but I think that's where, for me, I feel like that's where Elder Scrolls have always been one of my favorite games of all time, especially Skyrim or Oblivion. Like I said, again, I never played all the way through Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, and I should. But the thing is, though, too, I think, playing Starfield when this eventually comes to PlayStation on the 7th of this upcoming month of April, I really think that this game is really going to be tailored to a certain playstyle that I've always been known to love. Even if the simplest of terms of playing in Skyrim as like a sniper build with bow and arrow. You know, it's the same thing with Oblivion Remastered, but I'm doing a stealth archer with conjuration, and it's so much fun. And I'm not anticipating that to be that like that in Starfield, because I do know that Starfield is going to have some similarities to of its quirks, to its nobility of being a Bethesda game, and what this game is really going to provide and give us the idea of a really cool Star Universe fantasy. And I think that's where, for me, it's going to be absolutely amazing, because I love No Man's Sky. Haven't played it in such a long time for the past few years, but I think this is where it's going to be bang for my buck for me, in my own personal opinion. And so if people come into my comment section and say, you're an idiot, you're a moron, you should not have paid $75 from the premium edition, but you know what? That's my own call. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Citizen JV. You guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you guys later. See ya, fam.